All right, we're back with Craig to talk Canadian Olympic goaltenders. Craig, when you and Mike Johnson unveiled your Team Canada roster back on November the 11th, and you'll be updating that next week, your goalies were Jordan Binnington, who's actually pulled on Monday, Logan Thompson, and Darcy Kemper. The best goalie right now, as far as Canadians are concerned, might be Scott Wedgewood of the Avalanche. Is he playing himself into contention for at least that third slot, Craig?
Not a chance. No way. Listen, we know what his numbers are. Yeah, his numbers right now are top of the NHL. He's not the best goaltender available there. He's never been a starter in the National Hockey League. He doesn't have any meaningful playoff experience. It's been mop-up experience. And you're going to go into the Olympics thinking you might need a guy that has that resume? Sorry. We celebrate what Scott Wedgewood has done for the Colorado Avalanche. It's been fantastic. And that's the end of it. Not an Olympian. You're not taking a player that hasn't had any type of test in the NHL playoffs, any test internationally, and you're not going to make him the third goaltender at the Olympics, which is the highest level possible. Not happening. Shouldn't happen.
Craig,
better not happen.
I wanted to also ask you about Binnington. I mentioned he was pulled on Monday. Last time you and I talked, you really felt that at the end of the day, John Cooper believed in Binnington and that he would at the very least get the start to begin the Olympics. But as he continues to struggle, Craig, does that number one slot at the very least, do you feel that may be a little bit of jeopardy for Binnington at this point?
Not at the outset. Now let me go through this. 2002, the goaltender that started the Olympics, Curtis Joseph, didn't finish the Olympics, Marty Brodeur. In 2010, the goaltender that started the Olympics, Marty Brodeur, did not finish the Olympics. It was Roberto Luongo. So you think about at that point in time, Marty Brodeur had won 2 Stanley Cups. He still wasn't the starter in 2002, but he ended up being a key figure there. He won his 3rd Stanley Cup by the time he got to 2010. Roberto Luongo was an elite goaltender, took it over. So I see Jordan Binnington as getting the grace, and John Cooper himself said he always believed in Jordan Binnington as this guy. So he's going to get the grace. He is going to get the grace to be the goaltender, and I think he should get that grace. But after it starts, if you're not capable of showing that you can help the team win and they got to go to somebody else, then that is going to happen. Because it happened in 2002 and it happened in 2010. And I have Darcy Kemper as the clear-cut guy, because if Binnington can't do it, you need somebody that's done it. You need a guy that can be a starting goaltender. Darcy Kemper's won. He's had a lot of success. He was in the Vezina Trophy conversation last year. He's playing well this year. Darcy Kemper, for me, is the guy that goes into the net if Jordan Binnington can't carry it. But Jordan gets the grace at the outset.
And then I'm going to switch subjects a little bit here, Craig, because Connor Bedard turned a lot of heads on Sunday in a performance against the Anaheim Ducks. Not just the fact that he scored 2 goals and had 2 assists, but he really got into it with his former World Junior teammate Mason McTavish. Very feisty. Is he showing you, Craig, I know you believe he should be on this team, but is he showing you that not only should he be on this team, he should be in the top 6?
Well, so we talk about the top 6. You know, Braden Point and Sam Reinhart have already been named to the team. Those 2 guys have had brilliant careers. They've been tested at the most challenging times, and they've produced at a high level. Connor Bedard hasn't done that yet. So there's 2 parts here with Connor Bedard. I want Connor Bedard's on my team. And in case Braden Point falters, can't be healthy, maybe not finding the level of play, you now have somebody that can step in there and score in Connor Bedard. So he doesn't start in the top 6 unless there's an injury there. But if Braden Point's available and Sam Reinhart's available, they're in the top 6. Now I'm going to make a big statement here. Connor Bedard's my 3rd-line right winger, ahead of Mitch Marner. And now I got Tommy Wilson on the 4th line, for me, locked in on the team. Now it comes down to Bruce Cassidy. If I'm Doug Armstrong, I'm turning to Bruce Cassidy and I'm going, who do you feel more comfortable with, Mark Stone or Mitch Marner? And I think Bedard has shown that he can step in there and be a big-time player. He's not the spotlight doesn't faze him. The lights will be bright in Milan. But Connor Bedard has always risen to the occasion. And I don't want checkers deeper down my lineup. I want offense. I want guys, because the fine line between winning and losing comes down to a goal. And I want a guy that can get me that goal. I don't want somebody that can check.
This conversation is so much fun. I'm just hoping that the construction workers can finish the arena in time so the players can play. Craig, it's always great chatting to you. Thanks for this.